Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 29th anniversary of EDSA 1, and it's a pleasure to be with you this afternoon. And it's very timely that we are launching a memoir of parts of our history in the eyes of yet another legendary man, Dan Vito.
And I am Tony Abad. We will be your hosts for this momentous and historic occasion.
Since we only have one mic, let me give you a brief summary of the book in 2 minutes. General Almonte asked me to prepare the framework for this book launch. I told him that this is the first time someone has asked me to do a framework. So first of all, Endless Journeys about the long and painful process of building a nation as seen through the lens of General Almonte, driven by 2 basic questions. Why are our people rebelling? Why are we killing them? Almonte found himself pushing for change in a society steeped in vested interests, where the elite control most of the wealth and influence the country's politics. The divide between the rich and the poor is scandalously vast. This is the thread that runs through the life of Almonte. You will find in the epilogue of General Almonte 4 prescriptions for lasting change. One of these is very timely. It's ending our internal wars, insurgency, and separatism. The other is the need to transfer the power of the few over the state to the people. He asks, how do we wrench Malacanang from the capture of the oligarchy so that it is the people whose interests are served? You can read the other 2 prescriptions, which means you need to buy the book. These messages are woven into the life of Jose Almonte, from his growing up years in Albay, to his student days at the Philippine Military Academy, to his decades in government as a soldier and officer, and as a public official working with 4 presidents. The book contains stunning revelations on power and how it is used, the dynamics of reform and the resistance to it, as well as heartwarming stories on an individual's journey from obscurity to acclaim and controversy.
This book is actually the brainchild of our first speaker. And our first speaker is not from the Philippines, but he is from my favorite city in my second favorite country. He is currently the Vice President of the Kyoto Notre Dame University and is a Professor Emeritus at Kobe University. It was not easy for him to get here to this point in time. The brainchild was without effort. I understand it took more than 2 years of wooing our distinguished co-author before he could take us here to the end of this great project. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a dear friend of the Philippines, Yutaka Katayama Sensei.
Toughest part of this project was how to persuade and convince General Almonte to read memoir. It was a really tough challenge. Many people have advised him to write a memoir, and some distinguished writers approached him, but he turned them down all, knowing that we didn't give it up. And each time I saw him, I tried to persuade him. Finally, we made it. The key word which moved him is for coming a younger generation, as you see in my brief introduction. I repeatedly said, the memoir will not for your sake, but for the younger generation. We would like to share your personal experiences with much more people in the Philippines and also abroad who are interested in political economy of the developing countries. I'm one of them. And he was moved. And plus, Marites Bitu, I promised him to assign one of the best journalists in the Philippines as a writer. And she did very well. While she was working in Kyoto University, many of my former colleagues and friends were surprised and impressed by her hard work. And she finished her draft even before she left Kyoto. So this book is thanks to Marites Bitu's effort. And so I'm sorry, I'm so excited. I forgot what I should tell. Yes. Today is, before I came here, I was a little bit concerned because before I heard from Marite's dad, General Almonte was a little bit reluctant to show up in this book launching. As you know very well, he is very humble, shy person, and hates grandstanding. According to Marite's, General said she will show up in this book launching only by video, this book. So my hope, my desire for you is to take good care of your health and keep inspiring not only younger generation but us. Then your mission to build real nation in this country will be carried on by younger generation. God bless you. Thank you very much.
After many years of visiting V. Luna, Cortijos, and Merville, and listening and learning the endless journey through oral tradition, I finally asked Edna, shouldn't all of this be put down into writing so that the next generation will have something to read and understand? And sabi ni Boss Edna, ikaw na lang, Tony. Sabi ko, well, no, I'm not a writer, and I'm just not qualified for such a great undertaking. I think we're very fortunate that the chronicling of the oral tradition that went into endless journey went to none other than my dear friend and co-host, who I think, honestly, you could not have found a better author to co-author this book together with my godfather. And I think what she has done is not just written a book. It's not just a memoir. I'd like to think of it as a gospel. A gospel that now you don't have to depend on oral tradition. It's a gospel that you go back and there are no strong admonitions or condemnations. There's merely the life of a man. And by reading the life of a man, you understand the country that he is trying to build, the nation, and why it is an endless journey to try and fix this beloved place of ours. So without further ado, I now invite Marites Dangilan Vitu to the stage.